A lot of mentions of the Boston bad boy Tony Rumble here tonight, and I was a product of Tony Rumble's teachings as well. And this is another one that gives me great pride to be up here to introduce Slyk Wagner Brown. Nobody could book a show, nobody could run a promotion like Tony Rumble. And at the dawn of the millennium, he created the 2K Club. And that was two men that are already in the Hall of Fame last year, Jason Rage, who would go on to become Jason Rumble, and Latin Fury Luis Ortiz. Well, there was one other guy that rounded it out, and it was SWB, the Underground King, Slyk Wagner Brown. And here to induct SWB is Trey, the smooth operating gangster. Blew my spot, but how do you like your peanut butter?
Smooth. What's up? What's up? What's up? When I first met the person that would go on to be known as the Underground King, he was 17 years old. He was in the school of Walter Killer Kowalski. He had $1,500 in his pocket. He had a pen in his hand, getting ready to sign the dotted line because he was going to realize his dream to train as a professional wrestler. Then he told the truth, which we all know you really shouldn't do in this business, but he told the truth and said he was 17 years old, and Walter quickly took that pen out of his hand because Walter's insurance only applied when you're 18 and over. So Wagner had to wait a year, okay? Wagner asked could he stay that day to watch the boys work. Walter said fine. Wagner showed up every day. Used to be 4 days a week. Tuesday and Thursday nights, Saturday and Sunday afternoons. Wagner was there every single day, ringside, soaking up knowledge. When Walter was training the boys are in the ring, working spots, working matches. This kid was there every single day. Now, it wasn't hard to notice him because we're all brothers, but in Walter Kowalski, I was a brother, a double brotherage, because my tan is year-round. So of course, I noticed the young brother. About 6 months in, I'm like, this young brother's coming every day. Didn't know his name, didn't care to know his name. This young brother's coming every day. Well, let's see what happens. So the year passed, Wagner joined. Again, I didn't know his name, but being there for that entire year, just soaking up the knowledge, he just got everything just quick. It was just effortlessly for him. And Walter, back in those days, you waited, you had to work on the mat for 3 weeks before you can even get to the ring. But Wagner just got it. Wagner just got it. And I'm like, all right. So I went up to him, I said, hey, cuz, I'll work with you. So I took Wagner under my wing. We've had plenty of talks inside of the car, inside of the school, you know, just imparting my knowledge to him, just giving him what I have learned. You know, I haven't been all over the place, but just the willingness to share the knowledge with Wagner. The whole time I'm calling him cuz, still didn't know his name. It wasn't important to know his name at that point. Then finally he came to me, he said, T, Walter booked me, I got my first match. I'm like, oh, cool. So I said, so what's your name? Wagner Brown. What's your work name? Wagner Brown. I said, that's the shit. Who wants to go see Wagner Brown? Walter always preached to his students, you gotta stand out, make the people notice you. So at that time, Sisters with Voices, SWV, was on top. So I said, you know, why don't you be known as Slyk? Slyk Wagner Brown, SWB. And he bought it. He bought it. And boy, did he ran with it. I was there for his first match, critiqued all his matches, Gave him the good, gave him the bad. A lot of times it was bad because he knew the moves. Ring presence, it was right there. He just wasn't telling that story. Just wasn't, the psychology just wasn't there. He was potatoing people and thought it was a good thing. Remember that? Thought it was a good thing. How many times did I yell at you and get in your grill? Then one day, he got it. He got it. And I knew that he was going to go further than anything I've ever done, and he did. Working all around the country, working a few spots on this planet. He got all the skills, really does. Got all the skills. Much better worker than I am. Much better worker than I am. So this past February, when he reached out to me and said, hey, T, can you duck me into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame? I was like, wow, man, that's deep. I said, absolutely, absolutely. He hit me up on Twitter. You can follow him at this is SWB. So as I stand here, truly humbled, it is my honor. Oh yeah, free 99. Free 99, there you go. As I stand here, truly humbled, it's my honor to induct into the New England Professional Wrestling Class of 2015, the best unsigned talent in the land, the Underground King, SWB, Slyk Wagner Brown.
Thank you, Trey. That was beautiful, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sitting down there and watching everybody come up here and talk about their career and people that helped them along the way and all the stories that everyone shared was good, man. I really appreciated it. It was like being a fan. And that's how I got into this business, and I'm still a fan to this day. My start was humble beginnings, man. I came from Jamaica, another country. I left my friends behind. Didn't know anybody, and you know, we speak English in Jamaica, but it's broken. It's a different tongue, so I couldn't communicate, and that was the worst feeling in the world. So I quickly learned how to speak properly, and you know, so I can communicate, because I had to write everything down, and we stayed with my aunt and uncle for about 3 months, and they were fanatics for wrestling. So I didn't know anything about it. And I was in my room one day, and they were in the living room, and all I heard was laughter and all kinds of emotions and just excitement. And I was like, what is going on in there? So I walked in there, and I looked on the screen. They were watching pro wrestling. And the first two people I saw was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. And I said, wow, that's the Ultimate Warrior. He looked like a comic book that came to life. He was colorful, he was energetic, and he was jacked. And I said, I want to do that, what those guys are doing, because if you can create that kind of emotion out of somebody by being in a ring and taking bumps, that's incredible. You're telling story with your body and your face, and it's amazing. It was the best thing I've ever seen, because everything came together. The athletics, the characters, and just the performance. It was great. So then I go to middle school and I meet Bo Douglas, sitting back there. And Bo was also a fanatic, and it was great, because now I know somebody that shares the same passion as I do as a fan. So we became close immediately. I've known Bo for many years, since middle school, like I said. So Bo was such a fanatic that he would throw on, like, you know, small shows in backyards and basements, and eventually moved on to boxing club. And we did that every month, man, and it was great. You did a great job, man. He really drove and built my passion for this business. Then we decided to get serious, and again, Bo did his homework. I didn't have, I couldn't afford the magazine, so I couldn't buy it. So Bo saw in the magazine for Killer Kowalski School, and it happened to be 10 minutes from our house. And Bo said, hey, man, you want to do it? Let's get serious. And I was like, all right. Intimidated, nervous, but I said, let's do it. So we went to Kowalski School in Malden, Mass. And, you know, if you've ever been there, you walk up the long stairs, creaking stairs, and all you hear is people getting slammed and people screaming in pain. So it was very intimidating. I'm like, you sure you want to do this? He was like, yeah, let's do it, man. And we walked in, met Kowalski, told him we wanted to be wrestlers, and, you know, the rest is history. Trey said it. He was the first person that helped me in that school. Trey reached out to me, and he decided to help me. He decided to help me grow, and he really built a base that you need to be successful in this business. And it was beautiful because Trey, like he said, he was the only black guy at the school. And whether it's wrestling or life in general, usually that can go two ways, all right? You're the only brother in the school, so you see another brother come in, and, you know, your first thought is going to be, well, there goes my push or whatever. But Trey didn't react that way. He took the other way, and he decided to help me. And I thank you for that. My first couple of matches when I came here tonight, I saw the Brotherhood. These guys, they beat the hell out of me. And my first thought was, am I going to get beat up again tonight? You guys were great, man. You guys beat us up, but that's what we need as young guys in this business. And that's one of the things that's missing in this business, okay? A lot of guys don't have that toughness that you need to make it in this business or, you know, do well not only in wrestling but life, okay? You guys beat the hell out of us, but we kept coming. And eventually, we earned your respect. And I appreciate that. Thank you. I've had the pleasure of starting out by having a dream, like all of you here. Started watching wrestling on TV, and eventually with hard work and dedication and just not giving up, I was able to stand in a WWE ring and wrestle. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and I did it. Okay, I wasn't able to mobilize, but it doesn't matter because I was able to travel the world doing something I love to do. I made some good friends, Bo, Trey, Mike, Dave, George, everyone. Fred, thank you. And that was great. So I traveled the world doing something I love to do that I probably wouldn't have done without pro wrestling. And I appreciate that. And I was trained by one of the greatest personalities and wrestlers in the world on this planet. And his name is Killer Kowalski. Thank you. R.I.P. I love you. Tony Rumble, R.I.P. I love you. Thank you, guys.